There's a tech company that you probably interact with almost every single day, but I bet you've never even heard its name. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on Tanla Platforms, an absolute giant in India's communication world. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, think about it. That OTP you get from your bank, the little ping that tells you your food is on the way, or that alert that says your flight is boarding, right? These messages, they're like the invisible glue holding our digital lives together.
And yeah, there is a very, very good chance that Tanla is the engine behind the scenes making sure those messages get to you. See, they're a global leader in what's called cloud communications, but here in India, they're not just another player, they are an absolute powerhouse.
So, just how big of a powerhouse are we talking about? Well, get this. Tanla handles over a third, 35% of all the business-to-consumer messaging in India. That kind of market share is just an incredible position to be in, especially in one of the fastest-growing digital economies on the planet.
So, what does a cloud communication leader actually do? I mean, what does that even mean? Let's break down the core of their business.
The heart of their business is something called CPaaS. It stands for Communication Platform as a Service. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a super secure digital courier. When a business needs to send you a really important message, they use Tanla's platform to make sure it gets to you instantly and safely.
But here's the thing, Tanla does way more than just deliver messages. They're basically building a fortress around their business with some really cool patented tech. They've got TrueBlock, which uses blockchain to fight spam, and we all know that's a huge deal in India. And then there's Wisely, which is this hyper-secure communication cloud built on Microsoft Azure. So, you see, this isn't just about sending texts. It's a high-tech security operation.
Having a massive market share is fantastic, but where's the money coming from? I mean, how does this all translate into revenue? Well, the breakdown pretty much tells the whole story.
It's really all about one thing. A truly staggering 94% of their revenue comes from that core messaging and CPaaS business. Yeah, they've got other things going on, but those are just a tiny little slice of the pie. That level of focus is, well, it's undeniable.
And this points to one of their biggest strengths, which definitely earns our first green dot. Their revenue model is just so strong, and crucially, it's recurring. Every single message that gets sent is like a tiny little transaction, and all of those add up to create a really predictable stream of income. It's a classic and super effective software as a service model.
Of course, a great business model is nothing without great people to make it happen. So let's ask, who's actually steering the ship here, and just how far does their reach extend?
When you look at the C-suite, you see some serious experience. We're talking seasoned legal experts, tech veterans with decades, literally decades of AI experience. But what's really important is that the company has a clean legal record. That tells you a lot about their corporate governance, which is a huge plus, and for sure earns them another green dot.
Their strategy for growth is pretty straightforward. Completely dominate at home, and then start expanding overseas. Now that they've really locked down their leadership position in India, they're making some serious pushes into key markets all across the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and even into Europe.
Okay, so we've covered the business, the model, and the people running it. Now for the fun part. Let's see how all of that translates to the bottom line. Let's take a look at their financial health.
The profit and loss statement, it's telling us a bit of a mixed story here. Net sales are up a little bit, which is good, that's a green dot. But, and this is a big but, both their gross profit and profit after tax are down. That gets a red dot. It kind of suggests that while they're selling more, it's actually costing them more to do it, which is putting a squeeze on their margins.
Now let's flip over to the balance sheet for a quick look at their foundation. First thing that jumps out, their total assets are sitting at a very healthy 30 billion rupees.
And a really significant chunk of that is just cash. I mean, they're sitting on over 5 billion rupees in cash and equivalents, which gives them this incredibly strong financial cushion.
But honestly, this is the most important number of all, 0. The company is, for all intents and purposes, debt-free. In the kind of economic climate we're in today, having a net cash positive balance sheet is just a massive, massive advantage. It's a huge green dot. It gives them so much flexibility and stability.
And finally, let's check out cash flow. In fiscal year 25, they generated over 4.3 billion rupees in free cash flow. What that really means is that their core business is incredibly good at turning its revenue into actual, usable cash.
Okay, so after digging into the business, the people, and all the numbers, what's the final verdict? Let's stack up the positives against the negatives and see where we land.
It really boils down to this.
On one side of the scale, you have a debt-free market leader with really innovative products, super loyal customers, and a clean management team. That's a lot of good stuff. But on the other side, you've got that recent dip in profitability, low international revenue so far, and some broader industry headwinds that they're going to have to navigate.
So that leaves us with one essential question, right? Tanla has built this incredibly strong foundation. No doubt about it. But as the entire industry changes, the real test, the real question is whether its innovation with products like TrueBlock and Wisely can keep it ahead of the curve. And that is the story to watch.